Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Megaman Xtreme 2. In the last part we started off the game with a lot of cutscenes, and now we're heading after the Catfish from Megaman Xtreme 3. I hate this guy! Well, without his weakness at least. In this game he's really easy. It's an X level, so we're going to be taking on with X so we don't miss any collectibles. Now one weird little thing about Volt Catfish's stage here is that it's actually not his stage. It's Toxic Seahorse's stage from X3 with the electric ball gimmick from Spark Mandrill stage from X1. I don't get that change, but it's there. Thankfully, this stage is not a complete copy-paste. It might seem very similar to turn points, like here, this is Virtual Reality original level, but the water is now blue instead of green, but it's, for the most part, the same. And it also has the random spiked wheel mechanoloids from Chill Penguin stage. I don't really get that, but okay. Although, if I recall correctly, actually, all these robots we're seeing that are like pure blue, like X's color palette, actually changed to red with Zero. Because, you know, palette limitations. The boss stores also do that for some reason. Hey, wait, that energy palette should be moving with the water. Ruined forever. Anyway, you might remember from the X2, or 3, there was a heart tank up here, but if we go up here now, instead we find a Dr. Light capsule.
Head into this capsule. Take this leg upgrade. The upgrade will enhance your mobility and enable you to dash while jumping. You'll also be able to dash upwards.
So essentially, it's the X3 leg parts. And in this game, it's a godsend, because in Xtreme 1 you could dedicate the start button to dash, but in this game you either have to double tap the button or press down an A. However, now that I have the air dash, I don't need the normal dash at all, because I can just double tap A to dash really quickly. Anyway, the remainder of the stage has this gimmick. This water will push you. For now. In later sections of the stage, and by later sections I mean the next, like, 4 rooms, the water becomes electrified, and upon touching it, it will kill you. So, get used to that timing. Might as well talk about this now. You might remember at the end of the last part, we saw Gareth talking with some mystery lady, who I forget if they named or not, so I'm not going to say her name anyway. They are actually based off Zelda characters. Onox from... Gareth's based off Onox from Oracle Seasons, and the mystery lady is based off Varen from... Well, first off, there's the water being instant kill. But anyway, the mystery lady is based off Varen from Oracle of Ages. Now you might be wondering, why would they do that? That's a Nintendo game. This is a Capcom game. Why would they tribute that? Well, the Oracle games, in fact, most of the handheld Zeldas, were actually developed by Capcom. Nintendo just was like director or something like that. I forget the exact details, but Capcom worked on them. Also, there's the heart tank. Be quick so you can get back and not die. So, yeah, there's your big fan fact for now, although I forget if that was actually a confirmed thing, if they were based off the characters from Zelda. It's very heavily believed, though. And welcome to the most pointless checkpoint in the game. There's no enemies here, instead we just have a throwback to Aquaman stage from Mega Man 8. Ugh? Anyway, time for Volt Catfish. We've got to start taking him out with Zero because... HP. Volt Catfish is, I think, the same as the Super Nintendo counterpart. I wouldn't know. I never let Volt Catfish get many attacks off. For the first half of his fight, this is his base attack. He likes to suck you in and have these 2 laser balls try to kill you. When the laser balls are above and below you, they shoot a lightning bolt. I think this is the only attack for the first half or so of the fight, but once he reaches the second half, he starts to shock himself with lightning and fire out laser balls in varying patterns. You'll either do that little spread shot there, or a constant laser like this. I recommend taking him out with X. Well, first off, it's X's stage, so he's gonna need to take out the boss, but yeah. I recommend doing this because you can. Just so you know, Volt Catfish is weak against... Ooh. Who is he weak against? Neon Tiger. Launch Octopus from last part is weak against Volt Catfish. By the way, for beating him, we got Tri Thunder. I'll never use it. And what else did I take out last part? Oh, Overdrive Ostrich is weak against this guy's weapon. Wire Sponge from Mega Man X2. Now, if you recall correctly, back in X2, his heart tank was very early in the stage, and here, it's in the exact same place. Just go right there. I never got why they put that so early in the stage, but they did. Now, you might be wondering why I'm not actually going in any weakness order. It's because, honestly, with the power-ups you can get in the game, you don't need the weaknesses. You can do just about as much damage with your base weapons if you use the right parts. Anyway, here's our first of the sub-tanks in the game. They are the only power-ups shared by the two characters. Whoever collects them does not keep them. They are instead usable by both. Anyway, down here was the X-Hunter fight in X2, but here,
enter this capsule. Take this leg crush. This upgrade will allow you to crush certain blocks.
So, essentially, it's X's leg parts from X1. They're giving Zero a lot of X1 parts for some reason, and I don't get that. Anyway, for the most part, Wire Sponge's stage is very similar to his original Super Nintendo stage. There are some differences that we'll get to towards the end of it, but for the most part, it's copy-paste. Don't worry, I know I said that there was a lot more original level design in this game, and there is, it just that doesn't seem like that at first. But yeah, Zero pretty much destroys this stage no problem, because he just does so much damage so quickly. Although this section is annoying due to the instant death spikes below you. I do like his remix, though. In fact, as I mentioned before, Xtreme 2's soundtrack is really good. A lot of kick-ass remixes. Anyway, here's the only really different section. Everything in this section, aside from falling, is instant death. Everything here will poke you and murder you, so don't get caught up by anything. Anyway, time for Wire Sponge. Let's get X out to start the fight. For future reference, Wire Sponge is weak against Flame Mammoth's weapon. Anyway, Wire Sponge is actually a lot easier with X, I will admit to that. He likes to use his chain whip a lot, like he used to back in the old days. He shoots those little seeds which become vines that stick to the walls, and I'll admit, I didn't even notice that one was there until towards the end of the fight. And besides that, he just shoots his little whip forwards, and his whip is actually kind of a painful attack. Not because it hurts that much, but because the hitbox is kind of deceiving. The head of the whip, the chain itself, and an area around both is actually the hitbox, so watch out for that. But, honestly, he's pretty easy. He still has that invincibility attack he did in the original game, and I swear it actually tracks you this time. However, after using it, he's actually going to remain red this time, so you can still damage him. It's just that I fail at timing that. Okay, let's get X back out for this, because this is getting kind of close. Oh, God. Go! Whew! That was close. And for beating that Wire Sponge, we actually get one of the only weapons I'm actually going to be using. Lightning for Zero. Essentially, it's a screen nuke. Like I mentioned before, I honestly never use the weapons in this game. If I want to show them off, I might do that in, like, one of the final stages. Anyway, before we move on to the next stage, let's go to the part shop. Now there are certain X parts available that I want to purchase. I want to purchase Buster Plus 2 and Speed Shot. And I might purchase Buster Plus 1 later. In fact, I might purchase all these parts later after some grinding, just so I can show them all off. But anyway, it's time for Flame Mammoth from Megaman X1. And his stage is the last entire copy-paste level. Every power-up is in the exact same location, though the means of getting them might be a bit different. Anyway, let's put those two Buster parts on X. And now X is God. I am not joking. His Buster moves at half the speed and is essentially now 3 times as powerful. I will one-shot pretty much anything, maybe 2-shot certain things. Just wait until you see what I do to Flame Mammoth. Oh boy. The only real difference of this from my actual Mega Man X Let's Play, which is really old at this point actually, is that since I didn't defeat Chill Penguin, the lava's still there. But we'll get into that momentarily. Instead, what I want to do right now is actually break these blocks. A lot of people think you have to wait until later to get this, but no, you can actually do it right now if you abuse Zero's leg and head parts. And up here is, once again, the Dr. Light capsule.
Enter this capsule. Take this arm upgrade. The upgrade will increase the amount to be charged. You can shot 2 charge shots in a row. The 2 consecutive shots become a wide shot. That was very poorly translated. But anyway, it's essentially the X3 charge, and I don't like it at all. It's good for charging up special weapons, if I recall correctly, but beyond that, the 2 charge shots are essentially worthless. With the Buster plus 2 and Speed Shot, I don't need this at all. I only got it for completion. But yeah, now since I didn't defeat Chill Penguin, these fireballs all over the place, and they kill you in one shot. What's really weird is that even though the fireballs kill you in one shot, the actual lava itself doesn't. I don't get that. Anyway, like in X1, the sub-tank is up here. And if I recall correctly, this is actually the last sub-tank. There's only 2 in this game. They are shared between both characters, as I mentioned before, so that's kind of weird. Heck, Xtreme 1 had 4 sub-tanks, and you only had 1 character to play with back then. Anyway, down here's the hard tank. It's a bit tricky to get because the lava will hurt you, but you can still get it rather easily. Come on, get up there. Thank you. But, yeah, this is pretty much the closest you'll ever get to seeing me do Flame Mammoth before Chill Penguin. That's not in Maverick Hunter X. Another really good remix, by the way. Anyway, we're actually coming up on the end of the stage here. For future reference, Flame Mammoth is weak against launch, Octopus's weapon. But we're going to start the fight. No, actually, no, we're not going to start the fight off at 0 this time, because I can show how much of an overpowered god is X. I'm going to show off how much damage that his weakness actually does to him. By the way, for the most part, Flame Mammoth is the exact same fight, except I think he has a new fireball attack. About 4 units of health. Let's see what the overpowered Buster does to him. 4 units of health, with infinite ammo! And it's faster. Yeah, upgraded X-Buster is kind of broken. That was pathetic. I honestly think he's the exact same fight as he was in the original game, so we're not missing much, but that was brutal. Sorry, Flame Mammoth. But for beating him, we get the Fire Wave, which is the only attack I know what it does. It sends a fireball forwards, and it'll slowly glide down. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 3, we'll be heading after Tunnel Rhino here. See you guys then.